So I've read the book and now I'm thinking of using the app. What will change for me compared to using exactly what's described in the book with Anki? Is this a question you find yourself asking? Then you've come to the right place. This is a video for those of you who have read the Fluent Forever book and want to know what's different between what's described there, the Fluent Forever method using Anki, and the new Fluent Forever app. So let's go step by step. The first step in the Fluent Forever method is ear training. You use minimal pairs and spelling flashcards to teach yourself the pronunciation system of your target language using one of my pronunciation trainers or a trainer that you make yourself in Anki. In the new app, this step is basically identical. There are no big changes here. You'll be learning pronunciation in the new app rather than in Anki, so I guess that's a tiny change. And also you'll be choosing your own images for each example word, instead of us making those choices for you. We added that to make your pronunciation flashcards a bit more personalized. That'll make them easier to learn and more fun to review. In chapters 4 and 5 of the book, I talk about the next two steps in the method. You learn the 625 word list using picture flashcards in Anki. You play spot the differences with Google Images, you add mnemonics for grammatical gender, and you add personal connections. Then you grab your grammar book and start making sentence flashcards. So, in the new app, you can do basically the same thing with picture flashcards and the 625 word list. The main difference is that the flashcard creation process will go faster. The app automatically searches for images, so you can play spot the differences without having to copy and paste your word into Google. You could also add mnemonics for gender or anything else with a couple of taps. In the first release of the app, there won't be the ability to write in personal connections, but that will come in a later version. Now for a big change. In the app, you have an additional option of creating sentence flashcards. Basically the flashcards I discussed in chapter 5 of the book for the words in the 625 word list. So instead of learning the word dog from a picture of a dog, you can learn it from a sentence, like I have a brown dog, like in your target language. Every word in our 625 word list will come with 3 example sentences with recordings and translations. A simple sentence, an intermediate sentence, and an advanced sentence. The app will encourage you to jump into those sentences pretty rapidly, because if you learn your 625 word list using sentences, you'll already know a ton of grammar by the time you finish learning those words, allowing you to progress faster. Once you finish your 625 words, the app will show you a frequency list for your target language, a list of the most common words, along with example sentences linked to each word. You can keep expanding your language using this list, or you can go play, as described in chapter 6, with reading, writing, listening, and speaking. But you can do all that supported with the vocab and grammar learning that you can do with that app. If you'd like to improve as rapidly as possible, I would suggest taking advantage of another part of our app, the Tutoring Interface. Basically, it's going to be a web app that makes it really easy to collaborate with a tutor on personalized example sentences, and then get those sentences into your flashcards. Also, when people create new sentences with their tutors, those sentences will eventually get proofread by our staff and then get shared with the rest of the community in a giant growing community database. So you'll have more and more content to learn from as time passes. Note that this feature will come after our launch once people have had some time to create their own sentences. So those are the main differences. The flashcards you create will be almost identical to the ones in Anki. They're customized to you based upon your choices, and they won't have any translations. But they'll be easier and faster to create than the flashcards that you can create in Anki. And you'll get all the extra features like sentence learning and tutoring interface and the sentence database as soon as those features become available. I hope that clears things up a bit. And thanks so much.